So do people go missing on this trail? I'm asking for a friend. Hello adventurers and welcome to Arches National Park. We are going to be hiking today, one of the longest trails here, which is actually the mix of a lot of trails, and that is the entire Devil's Garden hiking. So we're gonna see several arches on this hike. Whether you just don't want to do this hike and you just want to see what it's saying, or you want to just scope it out before you fully commit to a 7.8 mile hike, this is the video for you. Let's go hiking. It is currently 7:24 here because I don't want the heat, because I don't function well in heat. This is the start of the Devil's Garden Trail. Okay, so it says drop-offs on both sides, and here are all the warnings. Okay, and here we go. I officially started my Apple Watch, so I will let you guys know at the end what I actually ended up doing versus what it says. And to be honest, this is beautiful. There were several warnings back there saying that you might have to get wet, you might have to climb up some rocks, and then also there might be some times where there is cliffs on both edges. So we will check all of that out. I'm also going to keep you guys updated about the weather because I'm currently here in September and it's still really hot. I think it hit like 103 yesterday, so definitely very, very hot, especially in an RV. I'm here right now. It's about 7:30-ish in the morning, and it's so pleasant. So we're gonna see what time of the day it actually starts to get unbearable, and I will let you know that time of the day. So this right here, folks, is the landscape arch. Look at how cool it is. Our first stop. I'm approximately 0.73 miles in. It's been relatively flat and easy, so no complaints so far. Here we are walking on some sand. Definitely the biggest I've seen, and the tiniest, like the thinnest I've seen here at Arches National Park. Okay, so I think this is a little overlook area for landscape arch. However, it is a dead end, so I'm gonna go back. Okay, here we are, back on track. Kind of makes a little triangle here. So far, we're at a mile, and it's been pretty nice. Honestly, I can't really complain about the conditions. Really easy, flat, maybe some hills, but that's it. Now we are going to Double O Arch. I have a feeling now is when it's gonna get a little hairy. This is already definitely more primitive. It is not marked as well, and there's no really trail. You're just kind of on some rocks. So we're a little lost here. We're confused if we're supposed to go over that way or this way. Who knows? Scramble a bit up here, and it is a pretty good drop on both sides. I'm now going sideways. I'm gonna have to backtrack a little bit, but I'm gonna go see two arches. Okay, so this was 100% worth the little side trail.
Yeah.
This is the partition. Now we're gonna go to the Navajo. So where we just were was the partition arch, and now we're gonna head to the Navajo arch. The shade provided by these rocks in the morning is everything. I kind of thought last night, because I have a very strong aversion to waking up early, and I was like, oh, what's the point? Like, I should just start at 8:30, like it's fine. I'm just so glad that I started earlier because these couple hours with shade makes all the difference. And plus, watching the sunrise over Arches National Park was worth it. This is the Navajo Arch. And you can actually go under it. Look how cool. So here we go. It's a little steep. They do have these arrows, but it's a little confusing. Okay, update. This is crazy. There's a cliff there and a cliff there, and look at the view. Okay, so now heading to the Black Arch Overlook. That's the rock where we were just walking. Wow. Just wow. Like, this trail is very funny because you go over rocks with cliffs on both sides, and then you just have this nice little flat walking trail. It's not like you're going straight up a mountain. Now heading to the Double O. Okay, these trails are so badly marked, but there's Double O. Wow. Oh my God. How do I get down? definitely see what they say about heights. I don't think it's necessarily unsafe unless you're being weird. However, there's definitely some cliffs that you could fall off of. Oh my gosh. Whew. Okay. I like this. Oh goodness. Just for reference, I just had to come down this rock face. If you are scared of heights, it maybe would be a little bit unnerving. Okay, so now we are going to Dark Angel. This is one of these side trips, 0.4 miles, so we'll see how it is. Then we're gonna go to the Primitive Trail. And I just met a gentleman who told me that there's a bit of scrambling, so we're gonna just do our best. Okay, definitely took the wrong way. This is a very confusing trail, I must admit. Okay, so I have no idea what I'm looking for or where I'm going, so I'm gonna turn around and get back on the Primitive Trail where there are people, because I feel like I'm just wandering aimlessly right now. Yay! Okay, so I'm gonna go on the Primitive Trail, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous because it says challenging route finding, and I thought what I just did was a little challenging, and I'm kind of lost at the moment. So I'm a little nervous about how this is gonna go. Awesome. Just met another person warning me how steep it was. Oh. Okay, this is where the video's like if you are curious to what this trail is like, but you don't want to do it. Again, this video is just gonna be good for you because I'm hiking it so that you don't have to. So far so good, I think. Update, I was getting so lost. There's nobody here. I'm the only one. This is probably not a good idea. And I ended up actually putting it into a GPS, and it's a lot easier. So if you are doing this, I would definitely recommend downloading the All Trails app. I personally prefer Apple Map because it doesn't have all the satellites and way easier. We are now going to the Private Arch. This is another one of those side hikes. Should be 0.4 miles. This is nicely marked. The rest of the Primitive Trail is not. This is so cool. A little difficult just to figure out a good way to get around things. Not really like you're out of breath difficult, just difficult to maneuver, if that makes sense. The trail's down there. I'm on a large rock. Okay. This is the trail, and I ended up all the way up there. Oops. I was walking up there. So here we are. This is the Private Arch. Nice little spot. So do people go missing on this trail? I'm asking for a friend. How am I supposed to get down? So confused. Maybe this way? Ah! So this is the trail, just the rock. But look at those guys. Oh, so cool. So I think going this way and going to the landscape arch first and then hitting the Primitive Trail, I personally think it's a little bit easier just because I can slide down on my butt instead of scrambling upwards. However, if you do have bad knees or you don't really like going downhill, this is a pretty intense downhill hike. So maybe do the primitive loop first. My cheeks are getting red. It's getting hot. It is currently 10:30. I have gotten lost several times and I have really taken my sweet time. So I think you could do it a lot faster than I can, but it's 10:30 and it's hot. So start early. Ooh, look how fun this is to go down. I feel like Donkey from Shrek. I'm like, that's a nice boulder. I have no words about this hike. It might be a little treacherous, and it might be very poorly marked. But wow, just wow. This is quite steep if you're going this way. Just warning you. I've seen a lot of slipping and sliding, people. Please be careful if you do decide to do this. Wow. This is very dense vegetation over here, so you're just getting the whole 9 yards. Like, do I go under this? Do I go over it? We're gonna go under. Ooh, squat down. If you're looking for a rustic hiking experience, this is gonna be your favorite hike ever. This to me looks like a trail, but you're supposed to go that way. This is why people get lost. I totally just fell in this water. Oops. My entire left leg is soaking wet. Tried to step on a log. It was not stable at all. What does that mean? So update, after you pass all of the steep cliff rocks, this trail is actually very nice and it's very nicely marked. I will have to admit that it's a little tricky during the day, like I'm finding myself more out of breath just because it is getting hot. However, it is a very nice little hiking trail. Trail is sand, which is pairing really well for my soaked leg right now. But oh well, we keep trucking, we keep moving. Again, just the views on this trail are stunning. Gets entire leg wet, goes and walks in sand. My pants are dry. My shoes and sock, however, nope. Okay, so I'm officially done with the primitive trail. The verdict is that I think it's actually not too bad when you're actually coming from the trailhead. However, it does get a little dicey just when you're coming from double O. So just be careful either way. However, there are significantly more people on the other trails than on the primitive trail. So that is one of the reasons that I liked the primitive trail, is that there was not a lot of people. Also was a little sketchy when there was no people because I didn't know where to go. All of it is absolutely stunning, but I definitely think my favorite part was that rock going to the big O and then the probably like first half of the primitive trail. Some good hiking right there. So many people here, it's so weird. Woo! And these are the last arches of our hike, which is the tunnel arch and the pine tree arch. Okay, on our way to the tunnel arch. And now to go to the pine tree arch. And this is the pine tree arch, the last arch of this hike at Devil's Garden. And now, after all this time, headed back to the car. So after all of that hiking, which ones do I think are my favorite? I did love the landscape arch just because it was so wide and it was really thin. And then I also liked the partition arch because you could see through it into the rest of the area. And then I think I do really like the double O. That was really cool. So I think those are my top. Fortunately, they're the ones that you have to hike to, so good luck with that. Let's see if I agree. Steep sloping surfaces and close proximity to drop-offs. There are fewer trail markers. Yeah, crossing a pool. Yep, did that. So I'm guessing that the majority of people come here and they just go to the landscape arch and then they come back, which I definitely think that that is worth it because the landscape arch is amazing. And it does get a little sketchy after the landscape arch. So I think that that's a good one. If you are looking for a hike, you won't see all the other ones, which honestly, that was my favorite part about hiking this, is that there were so many arches. They were kind of on their own little side trips, so you had to go out and back, but honestly they were amazing. If you are going to attempt this, I would get this pamphlet specifically, just because the pamphlet that they gave me in the map, this was very tiny and this goes into way bigger detail. So definitely do that and download All Trails or put it on some sort of Google map or just something just to see where you're going so you don't get lost a million times like I did. You know what? I gave it my best shot. So my end watch results is I spent about 4.5 hours there. Granted, I got lost and I also explored quite a bit. So I think you could do it definitely faster than 4.5 hours. And I stopped at 8.3 miles. I think I read 7.8 somewhere. However, as I said, I explored a little bit. I got lost. So that number makes perfect sense. And my elevation gain was 1,170 feet. So not too bad. I do have to say that I don't think that this hike is difficult in like I'm climbing a mountain and I have no oxygen and I'm out of breath all the time kind of difficult. It's more difficult in like where to put your feet. You need to have very good footing in order to do that hike. So it's just hard because there's just a lot of places that could go sour really quickly, as in you could fall or you could lose your footing. So I think it's more difficult in that sense, and it's hard to know where to go. As I said, I got lost and had to actually use a GPS to get me off that trail. So overall, totally doable, especially if you're on the more active side and you like hiking and you're more of an active hiker. You will love it. It's amazing. Also, another tip, it is currently noon and this parking lot is full. Like, it is full all the way to there. It was actually quite full when I was here at 7 this morning. So what do you think? Are you watching this video because you were very curious about what that height looked like, but you weren't quite sure you wanted to tackle all of the rock faces and scrambling? Or were you kind of just looking to scope it out if you wanted to check it off your own bucket list? Definitely let me know in the comments, and let me know in the comments if you would also like to come to Arches National Park. It is absolutely beautiful here, and I want to hear your thoughts. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you did like this hiking video, please just hit that like like and subscribe button just so that I can keep bringing you free adventuring mermaid content. Did not do my tail today. That mermaid would have fallen off her rock. Oh my lord. Absolutely not. This is insane. Whoa.